Hello everybody, this is Armadaninja. Now, I may not know CSGO, but I do know CSGO skins, so welcome to the Weekly Workshop, a series in which we analyze the best skins on the CSGO Workshop from this particular week. Usually I'm going to keep this around 10 skins, but due to the vast amount of skins that we've been seeing lately due to Valve's contest, I will be featuring a plethora of skins for this week. So without further ado, let's get into the first skin, the Scar 20 Riding Hood. This skin is created by enzYm, or rather skins, and it comes in 3 different variations, and it's going to probably have a 4th. It comes in black, red, and blue at the time of me making this video, and it also looks like there's going to be an orange variation. The skin is incredibly detailed, and the color schemes usually involve some orange and a little bit of white. There's caution tape all around it, and the whole skin sort of has a hazardous active sort of feel to it, as there's a lot of movement going around with the skin. We don't have a lot of incredibly detailed and awesome Scar 20 skins, so even though no one uses it, it would be a pretty good addition, I believe. The next skin is the AK47 Purgatory. The AK47 Purgatory is created by Salt trademark. This skin is incredibly detailed. It comes with a skull smack right in the center of the skin onto the magazine, and a really cool feature about this is what it looks like is when you remove the magazine, half of the skull's like mouth comes off with it, so it looks like the mouth is opening, which is incredibly cool. Other than that, it's got badass flames and a sort of like spiral effect on the main center of the skin, and a mesh for the stock. Really cool skin, and another one of the AK skins that we might just see. The next skin is the M4A4 cosine. Now, this skin is created by, let me just try my best here, Engr. Kejayguard. I really did try. But this almost looks like an updated Cyrex. I know that this skin probably won't get added to the game, but I really like the sleek look that this skin has, and I know that it probably is not the most, you know, aesthetically appealing to most people, since not a lot of people like the Cyrex anymore, but this skin is awesome in my opinion, and I still feel like it's worth mentioning in the video. The next skin is the Galil AR Soldier, which is created by Mia. He has another submission in the video later on. This skin comes in 2 variations, red and green, and it has an insanely neat looking style to it that I can't really describe. It almost feels like a power grid sort of thing, but it's also called the Soldier, and I can see why. It kind of looks like one of those like toy guns you get. It just has that kind of feel to it. The red variation is my favorite personally, and it looks absolutely badass. The red on blue, or the blue on red technically, just absolutely complements the skin perfectly. And this kind of reminds me of the Stone Cold that we saw earlier. It has that sort of feel to it, but I really love the way that this wears. As it wears, it doesn't really wear in the back or the center. It kind of wears on the mesh in the middle, and that right there, that is some cool thing. Excuse my French. The next skin, or should I say skins, is created by Moonfighter, and it is the Genuine. Now, the Genuine has about like 1,000 different variations to it. It comes on the MAC-10, MP7, XM, ppbizon, Desert Eagle, and those are just the ones I could find. It's probably going to be more posted because the guy has like a 1-day gap between each post, but the Genuine comes on just about every single skin. Ninja, 5 skins is not every skin in the game. I already told you I don't know CS, bro. Personally, I think my favorite might have to be the XM because of the fact that it wraps around the barrel and it just looks absolutely awesome. It has a really nice design to it with the blue, red, and white, and the leading lines in this one, they're just so wavy, and they're so like, they lead into the highlights of the skin itself. So this is an example of a skin that I feel like works with the design of skins rather than tries and fight it. The Deagle also looks amazing, and honestly, I could see one of these skins getting into the game as a blue or a purple, just because of how like simple and yet awesome it looks. Similarly, we have the MP9 Embedded, and this is created by Huchkins. This skin is insanely sleek. It looks absolutely incredible. When I saw this, I was like, do I really want to put a sleek skin like this in my video? And I was like, hell yeah, I do! The skin has some really nice movement to it with stripes in the back, but it also has that like hexagonal block sort of like thing going on in the back of the skin as well. And that, I really feel like, adds a lot to the skin in movement-wise. It really creates sort of like a dynamic composition within the skin itself. Because in the front, you have this, you know, the leading lines, you have a lot of, like, I'm just going to stop myself there, I'm going out on a tangent, but yeah, the MP9 Embedded, it's a pretty damn cool skin, and I think it looks really sleek. Next up, we have the Op Drake, and I'm going to try and pronounce his name, Theaero Faker Senpai. I tried. But this is the Op Drake, and I think it looks pretty fucking badass, personally. Now, I know a lot of people are going to find this skin controversial, but I think it looks really cool. It's a really simple decal design here. It's not like super sketched out and, you know, with scales and everything like that, but you can tell it's definitely a dragon, and the red, just simple flame that's going on just really makes it look really, like, swell. But plus it's on a nice white, and I feel like the float could be a big, like, part of this, and this could be one of those skins that's like float value means a lot, and this could be a pink for that reason, and for that reason I think this would be a good skin in the game. This next skin is probably one of my favorite skins that I saw, and it's called the EASIES Vision, easy with an S on the end of it, Vision, and it's created by someone who I can't even pronounce. There's going to be a link to the workshop pages for all these skins, but this skin is absolutely fucking insane. I would absolutely buy this skin off the freaking market if it got into the game. The design is perfect. This is an example of a P250 skin that is, it's breathtakingly good. It is insanely well made. It's got that badass face with red, white, blue, and black, and it's on top of that just clean white background with splatter marks and scatter marks everywhere, and it just looks insanely good. That's all I can really say about this skin. This could potentially be a really high value skin in the game if it does go in, and I could easily see this being a red. Next up, we have the Gatekeeper series, and this is another one of the skins that's on just about every single weapon. It is on, and this is just the list that I have. P250, Desert Eagle, USPS, OP, M4A4 and it is created by Road to Global Elite. Personally, some of these are better than the other ones, but there are some that look incredibly good and could definitely see the light of day in the game. It's got nice white, light blue, turquoise almost, and black for the color scheme. And along with, I've noticed that a lot of the skins I selected have white on them. But the P250 is definitely one of the highlights. I really like the way that that looks. And the logo that he made, it's like an eagle, and it looks pretty cool. With the P250, it looks like the guy is actually like balancing on like a safety switch. So that's kind of neat. But yeah, this has so many variations. It's got like so many. And I feel like the way he did this was that he can just retexture it as the way he wants to. And that's really good because that gives him a higher chance, I suppose, of Valve liking one of the skins more than the other one, maybe. This next skin is another personal favorite, and it is the P90 Phase created by enzYm. This skin is freaking insane. This is like an old industrial factory-like radioactive skin that it's cold, it's metally, it's just super well textured. And in the back, it's got that glowing core, and that could be super awesome with wear. It could get brighter or it could get darker, and that's one of the very like first examples I feel like of a skin in the game that really goes along with the skin's wear that isn't like, you know, like darker or lighter, you know what I mean? Because, you know, there's like the P2000 Fire Elemental, which just gets brighter and darker as the wear goes down, but that doesn't really mean a lot. Whereas this, if like the back control panel got brighter or darker in the wear, that would be like kind of actually cool, I guess you could say. I don't know. I feel like it's a really awesome skin. It just has an amazing design, and the texturing on this is absolutely insane. I was considering saving this skin for last because it is also absolutely insane, and it is the SG553 Antique Mechanism version 3. The skin is created by G99 Factory, and God, it's like almost like an ultraviolet SG, but in the center, it's got that amazing skull decal with the gold and just the crazily well done skull, and all the gears and the golden barrel and the black and the purple. It's just, it's an amazing skin. This skin, the detail on it is off the frickin' charts with the gears and all that stuff. The center of the skin is definitely the masterpiece of this skin, and it almost reminds me of the Judgment of Anubis. It's on a skin that no one really uses, but it could definitely be a covert skin because it just looks absolutely fucking insane. The next skin comes in 2 variations, but I have like something really cool that if it does get added, it could be pretty neat. This is the P90 Prehistoric created by Sparkwire. And it comes in 2 variations. It comes in mossy variation and comes in clean variation. The mossy variation has moss dripping down the sides and on the top, and the wood's kind of decaying, whereas the clean variation is pretty much the same thing, only it doesn't have the moss and it's really just clean. Now what I think would be really cool is the factory new version would be clean, whereas the battle scarred version would be covered in moss and have that going on with it. So as it gets, you know, more and more battle scarred, the skin gains more and more moss, which could be sort of like one of the pattern ideas that I know that the CSGO community wants. I can't speak today, but yeah, as the skin gets more battle scarred, it could get more mossy, which could also, you know, be really cool for trading and all that, and it would be really cool for patterns as well. So that's something really neat that if this skin gets added, I could definitely see happening. Next up, we have the Glock 18 Creature's Eye, and this is created by Twist CS. And this skin's pretty freaking neat. It's got an eye right in the center of the, well, actually not in the center, just to the right of the trigger, and that's right where your hand would, it's right above where your hand is, so you can definitely see that when you're holding the Glock. I really like the stripes and the aggressive sort of manner this has. It feels ominous and it feels dark, but it also feels light because of the color scheme, the bright red in there, and it really just has a nice flair to it. This is one of those Glock skins that I would use because there's not a lot of really good Glock skins out there. I mean, there's the Water Elemental and there's the Fade, but I mean, if you don't have a massive wallet, you can't get the Fade, and the Glock Water Elemental is really the only good, you know, pink skin we have for the Glock. So I could definitely see this being a pink or maybe even a purple, but it's a pretty neat skin to say the least. Next up, I have a skin that I'm about 90% sure is going to get added to the game, and it is the MP9 Hero made by Suka Axer Pro Fortish, I think. Now the reason that I say this is going to get added to the game is because it's just one of those designs that you can see as a blue. This skin is really, it just screams blue skin. At least to me it does. Because it's a really simple design, but it also looks really awesome. And this reminds me of so many similar skins to this. One skin that kind of makes me, you know, reminisce is the MP7 Urban Hazard. And I know that they're completely different, they look completely different entirely, but it has a similar style to it. It's simple, but it also looks really cool, so I could definitely see this being a blue skin in the game. Not gonna be like a covert or anything, but it's pretty freaking awesome still. And it's also worth noting that most of the skins in this video are for the competition Valve put out about the 80s retro skins and all that sort of stuff. So that explains why some of these skins are targeted to, you know, like covert or blue, because that's also part of the guidelines. Next up, we have the ppbizon Conqueror of the Galaxy. And the ppbizon Conqueror of the Galaxy is created by Mia. We had him have a skin earlier. I forget it already. This skin's pretty freaking awesome. It's got that futuristic, you know, alien sort of look to it. It's got that bright glowing style, sort of like the P90 Phase that we saw earlier. It's really like industrial, hard, metal looking, but it also has that bright glowing style to it. It reminds me of a spaceship almost, and that's good name because Conqueror of the Galaxy would imply that you're flying in a spaceship, maybe, I don't know. But overall, the skin feels really like unified as a skin, and I really especially like the barrel. It's glowing, and it just feels like a power core almost. So the next 2 skins I have are insanely, actually the next 3 skins I have are insanely good. So here we have the AK47 Laser Razor, created by C and Alex36. Holy shit, I have no words for this one. It looks just beautiful. And the best thing about it is, like, the stat track icon on this would just go with the skin. Like, the stat track would make it look even better. This almost reminds me of the fuel injector, but like a better version of the fuel injector, what should have been in the game instead of the fuel injector. And on Nuke, it's just perfect. It's just so perfect. The metal texture on the barrel, it just shines, and all of the lines and the work with like the lighting of the like on-screen displays and stuff, it's oh my god, this is a really good skin, and I really would like to see this one in the game. Also, in case you were not aware, in the description, links to all of these. Go thumbs up any of them that you like so you can see these in the game. This skin, though, is it's just good. It's just really good. I'm almost at a loss for words because of just how amazing it is, but the next skin is arguably even better. And this is the AK47 Armageddon by Siri, or something like that. Just goddamn Siri. Goddamn. It's like an alien blaster rifle from Halo. It just, oh my god. So probably my favorite part about this is the magazine. That style just reminds me so much of Halo, and I know that Halo and CSGO, not the same thing, but the magazine, man, it just looks so awesome. The skin itself has so much going on, and it's so varied throughout the skin. Like, you've got the zebra print for not the barrel, the stock, and I don't know the technical term, but like the handhold area on the AK, and then you've got that bright purple, and you've got that red detail going around even on the barrel, and it just looks insane. Like, this is definitely a skin that would, if it gets into the game, it's a red for sure. And I know a lot of people are gonna feel controversial about this skin, and that's fine, but to me, this skin is absolutely ridiculous. Guess I was saving the best for last without even knowing it, because now we have the M4A4 Machina, which is created by Ryanworks, and just, oh my god, like, I can't even imagine how you would even create something like this. It just looks, it's insane. It's just insane. The detail in every single bit of this skin is just off the freaking charts. Like, just look at it. You've got that really nice looking skull with like the cybernetic look to it, and it's like vomiting out details and data, and it's also got all of the lines and for the grip of the handle. It's got leading lines on the stock, and it just looks so good. The only concern that I have for the skin is how it's going to look with wear, because with wear, it's definitely not going to look nearly as good because there's just so much detail packed, so much. It's almost like the Death by Kitty, but it's an incredible skin. And this certainly does match the criteria for a red M4A4 for the contest for Valve, so props to this guy. Next up, we have a really cool skin compilation, and it is the Companion Patriot. This is created by SA_22, and the patterns are what won me over with this skin. It comes in P2000, Desert Eagle, MP9, and OP, and the patterns make this skin absolutely sweet. So as you can see on screen, I'm putting all these skins up, but the MP9, I think is the one I chose to use. No, it's the P2000. As you can see between the two screenshots, this skin actually changes patterns. It has a shit ton of patterns built in that make it look different, and it all comes in red, white, and blue patterns. And this goes on for every single skin in the bunch. So that's the OP, that's the Desert Eagle, MP9, and the P2000. So the Patriot, it's got red, white, and blue, and it changes as the it's like one of the pattern skins that we've always wanted to see, and it also looks just absolutely ridiculously cool. So this is definitely a skin that I would like to see in the game. It might not be like the most amazing, outstanding design, but it's super cool with the patterns. Final two skins. Next up, we have the MP9 and Bison Impulse, created by Flisky. And this skin also changes patterns, only it's even more fucking badass! So this skin also changes patterns, and it's pretty similar to the Patriot, only this time the red details and all that, they also change. It's mainly like red and black details change on the skin, but this is apparently something relative to FaZe Clan, I don't know, but it has FaZe Clan colors on it. The pattern changes on this make it look super cool, and it's also one of those metal looking skins, really industrial stylistically, and it is absolutely memorable in my mind. This is one of the skins that I remember. I looked at skins for like 3 hours and I was like, damn, this is one I'm gonna remember. I could definitely see this being like a blue or a purple in the game, and the patterns would really make this cool. Not a lot of pattern skins on the on the workshop anymore, so it's really cool and refreshing, in a matter of fact, to see 2 skins in a row, by the way, be, you know, pattern changing. And last but not least, a skin that I almost missed and I just barely caught is the USPS Gold Stripe, created by Play Once. And this skin is most memorable for its wear. Now, the skin looks pretty damn cool. It looks like some skins we've seen before in the game, but the really neat thing about this skin is as it gets more and more battle scarred, parts of the skins turn to sapphire, because the main idea about this skin is that it's like a gemstone sort of thing, I guess you could say, and as the skin gets more battle scarred, the gold goes away and it turns to sapphire. So it's just really neat how the guy thought of that, but it's supposed to be like a really official thing, like 24 karat golds on it, and it's got sapphire for the chamber, and it's, you know, oh, it's fancy. It's a fancy pantsy skin. But yeah, I really like the way that this looks. The leading lines especially pique my interest, and I really just like the overall feel that this one gives off. It feels like something I could see in the game as a purple, definitely a purple. But yeah, this is a pretty neat skin. So that's been the weekly workshop. I know it's a long one. These will usually be much shorter, but I had a lot of skins that I wanted to go over. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Be sure to give me your feedback and check out the work that these guys have put in for these skins. They are all super awesome, and I think they all deserve to be in the game. Of course, not all of them will be, but you know what I mean. So be sure to like, favorite, and subscribe if you're not already. Also, share to Facebook and Twitter, and if you really want to help me out, do them both together. So that's all I'm going to say for you guys today. Ninja out. Help me, I'll fall in.